welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys a story. This is a story about the time I almost dated a 20-year-old when I was 15. I don't know why I want to tell you guys this story, but I'm going to tell you anyways. So, let's get started. I met this guy because I lived in a house where it was like a house in the front and a house in the front and a house in the back. It was our backdoor neighbor's friend. And so me, my sister, the backdoor neighbor, and that guy, we were all together. We were all talking. I actually don't really remember exactly what happened or how like we started texting. This is how everything started though, and I kind of feel bad. Alright, so I was with my friend, my next door neighbor. Um, Wait, we're gonna call this guy, let's call him John. So my best friend at the time was my neighbor. And so I went over there and I was telling her like, oh, like I'm texting him. And I was like, oh, you know what, like I need to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom and I come back and she's laughing and she's holding my phone. So I'm like, bitch, what did you do? And she's like, oh, he texted you back, so I just texted him back. And I was like, oh, what did he say, And she's just like, oh, here, read it. And then she was like, and I sent him that, and it was TQM. I didn't know what that was. I was confused. I didn't know what that was, and he responded with the same thing. TQM. What? What? What is this? What is this sorcery? And I didn't want to tell him that I didn't know what that was, or like tell him that my friend actually had my phone and messaged him that, because I don't know. And so I turned and asked her and I'm like, what the hell does this mean? And so she says, te quiero mucho, which basically means like I like you a lot or I love you kind of thing, in Spanish. But I sat there. I could have like messaged him and like, you know what, like that wasn't me. I didn't do that shit. But I didn't do that because I'm an idiot. So we went. We bought some food. I got a Gatorade. I didn't know the first time. I didn't know that it was actually going to help me feel better. But once I drank it, I felt fine. And so we went up. We went to see the movie or whatever. We bought the tickets. We walked around. Went back. Saw the movie. Now, this started. All right. The only thing we ever did was like hold hands and hug, like when we would greet each other, like, oh hi, hug, whatever, or like say bye. In movie theaters, we would hold hands under the, I don't like, it was like the seat, and then you know how it has like those cup holders, and these cup holders you couldn't like pull up like in some like better theaters where you can just pull it up. So like the first time he just kind of like kind of tapped my leg, and like I saw his hand and like going like this, like give me your hand, and I was like, oh, okay, I was 15. I was kind of an idiot. The movie finishes. He takes us home, right? That was the first time. After a couple of times, like we went out like 4 or 5 times, just me, him, and my brother. Something weird happened. Like the last time I went out with him by myself and my brother, we were on our way home. He took us in through like these empty streets that were like on the side, and it was just making like the road longer, right? And I'm looking around and I'm like, bitch. And I'm just like, I swear to God, if something happens, I'm gonna grab my brother, fucking run the hell out of here. I'm gonna tell that bitch to run because I was fucking scared. Like these empty streets, completely empty streets, and then we run into like some people that, well, there were people on the sidewalk just like wandering, or like I don't know if they were drunk or high or whatever, but they were there. And he stops like halfway, like not even at the end, like at the end of the street where you're supposed to stop and then keep going, you know? He just stopped in the middle of the street where these people were on the sidewalk, you know? And I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, I didn't say anything because I could tell that he was upset. I didn't know, like, exactly why, because he wasn't talking to me. But these people, one of these guys starts yelling, just yelling, and runs after the car, and he gets so close to the fucking window, and my brother's in the back seat on that side. So I'm just like, oh my god, Caesar's your door lock. Was so scared. And I just like look in the back. I'm staring at my brother to make sure that his window is locked. So I'm looking at him, and the guy's running, and I'm just like, oh god, I'm gonna die right here. This is where it ends. This is what happens when you freaking Miriam. So I'm completely freaking out. Like, I'm not yelling though. I'm not yelling. I'm not saying anything. Like, I'm just praying internally that I do not die today, because Lord Jesus, please. And the guy, and just as the guy's like about to reach the car, he slams the fucking, what is it, thing to go. He just goes. And I'm just like, holy shit, what the fuck was even that? Like, bitch, what are you trying to get us killed? I don't know. I don't know. Alright, so that's when I started noticing that he was a little off. The second thing that happened with this guy was that he, what did I name him? John? So, for some reason, well, here's what happened. Me, my best friend at the time, my next door neighbor, my brother, her date, my best friend's date, and John, you know, John, we decided to all go see a movie, and I told him specifically who she was going with and that she was going. And he was like, okay, you know, that's fine, blah, 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 whatever. We get there, and he sees this guy, and his mood just shifts completely. He's basically ignoring me at this point, and I'm like, okay, like, what's wrong? He's just like, you know what? I don't like this guy. And I'm just like, okay, well, you know what? Like, they can sit up there, and we'll go sit down there. Like, we don't have to sit with them. We don't have to have any contact with them. Like, you don't even have to look at him, you know? Like, what do you want me to say? Like, what am I supposed to do now? You know, I told him who was going, and now he's like, well, I don't like this guy. And I'm like, well, I fucking told you who it was, bitch. So, we're sitting there, and I can tell that he's just completely agitated. We're not sitting with them, you know, they're above us. Well, they're behind us. We're more in front of the screen so that he doesn't have to look at them. But still, this bitch, he fucking got up halfway through the movie. He got up and he just left. When he got up, he had to pass me and my brother. So I was like, oh, where are you going? He didn't answer me. He fucking left. He was out. I texted him, hey, what's wrong? What's going on? You know, like, I can't, like, just, like, what's going on? You know, like, do you want to go home? Like, we can go. This bitch didn't fucking text me back. So I grab my brother, I get him to sit with my friend, and then I'm like, I gotta go look for this bitch, because I don't want him to, like, I don't know. What if he's leaving me here? I don't have a ride home, you know? He's the ride home. And so I go out, and I call him and I'm like, hey, I left my brother with my friend. Where are you? And he says, oh, I'm outside. And I'm like, where outside, bitch? Like, obviously you're outside. Outside where? I'm just like, where? You know, like, we need to talk. Like, what's going on? I don't know why you're so angry, you know? So, eventually, he tells me, I find him. He's outside, like, where the I don't know, it's fucking weird. But, we're outside, and I'm talking to him, and he just refuses to listen to any reason whatsoever. Mind you, this guy is older than me. And even in situations where I don't like people, I don't fucking do that shit. You know, like, what? What happens is that we start talking, right? I start telling him, like, hey, you know, what's wrong? What happened? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I just hate that guy. I don't want to be near that guy. And I'm just like, well, what did he do to you? I just hate that guy. He's not giving me any reasons whatsoever. Like, no evidence of why he's a terrible motherfucking person. I'm not saying that he's a great person because I don't know him. But, like, he's not giving me any solid evidence for us to leave at this point. And I tell him, you know what? Let's just go back in. Let's finish watching the movie, and then we'll just leave. Like, we don't even have to say bye to them. Like, I'll text her. I'll be like, you know what? He wasn't comfortable with that. Blah blah blah. And he was like, no, I'll go. Fine. I'll go back in a bit. You go back. So I go, and I grab my brother, and we're sitting more in front where we were. In the beginning, and I'm sitting there with him, and I'm waiting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The movie's about to end. I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna sit here for, like, the rest of the movie. Like, I get up, I look in the back, like, of the things, and I'm trying to see if I see him somewhere in the back. Like, maybe he doesn't want to pass them. I don't know. I look at my phone, no text messages, no calls. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So I get up and I'm like, you know what? I want to at least, like, talk with my friend for a little bit because he's not even here in the first place. Like, whatever. So I go and I sit with my friend, with my brother next to me. And at that moment, this bitch comes walking down the aisle and he says, let's go. What? I was saving a fucking spot for you, like, all the way in the front, and the minute, like, I come over here with my friend and I'm talking to her and we're just, like, chatting about shit, whatever 15-year-olds chat about, and he's just like, he's pissed. Like, he is so mad that we are sitting with my friend now, and I'm just, I don't understand. Like, what? Oh God. I don't understand. I messaged him the next day. He wouldn't text me. It's like, fine, you know. My birthday rolls around. And I got money for my birthday, on the date of my birthday, you know, like, we made a little comidita or whatever, and I decide, you know what, like, with this money, we should all go see a movie. Like, I want to go see a movie with all my friends. So, I go with my sister, some of my sister's friends, some of my guy friends. Like, I invite everybody, well, not, like, everybody, but, like, my little close circle of friends, and they kind of invite other people, too. They're like, oh, well, can I bring this person? Yeah, bring them over, you know, like, the bigger, the better, you know, like, they have to find their own way there, but, yeah, they can come, they can come hang out with us. So, I invited him, right, because I'm still talking to this bitch, even though all that shit already happened. I'm still talking to him, regardless. So we're all there, and all of a sudden he shows up. mind you, he hadn't texted me that whole day. I hadn't like texted him in a while actually. He was barely even speaking to me. And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? He probably doesn't like me. Like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, that's fine. Whatever. I'm like, I was kind of forced into talking to him anyways. So really, this is a good thing for me. And he gets there, and instantly, I can tell he's upset. Like, not like mad or angry. Like, he's upset. Like, he's sad about something. And I go, and I greet him and I hug him and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Like, how are you? Like, I thought you weren't gonna come. And he's just like, yeah, I don't know, yeah, kind of giving me really short answers. And he's just like, I just want to be over here by myself for a little bit because there's way too many people over there. And I'm like, okay, well, like I have to be with them. Like my sister's there. I'm like the birthday girl. They all want to talk to me and shit. And he's like, oh, okay, go with your friends, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, like I'm sorry. And I go and I'm talking with them. We're all having a blast. And I hear this like big, loud, like someone hit a table. It was loud. Everybody turned around, and all of my friends were staring. It was him. It was John. John hit a table, and all of my friends just turned around and they were like, "Holy shit!" Like everyone that was there turned around and saw him, and he just kind of like. And I'm over here like, what did I do? So my sister's like, maybe you should go talk to him. Like, did you ask him what's wrong? Like, what's going on? So I'm just like, I don't know. I asked him already. He doesn't want to tell me anything. Like, he's been like this. Like, he's been kind of like angry, like upset since he got here. Like, he told me that he wasn't gonna come. He told me that he was gonna stay home and rest. So I don't like I don't know. I don't know. And so I go and I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, tell me. Like, I can tell you're upset with something. My sister calls me over and she's like, oh, it's, I don't know, 6. The movie's gonna start already. So we're like, oh, okay, so we go. We start walking over there and I'm like, oh, come on, like, the movie's about to start and stuff. Blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't come in with us. He's like, oh, I'll go over there in a sec. And I was like, okay, And we're going in and we go all the way to we decide to go all the way to the front row. All that leg space. So we're filling up like half of the first row. It's like 6, 7 people. 6, 7 of us. And my guy friends are like a couple seats away from me being stupid. My sister is just cracking up, and so are my other friends and my friends' friends. They're just cracking up at how stupid the guys are being, and we're all making jokes, we're all laughing, we're being super loud, and he comes over, and I don't know who was sitting next to me, but he told them to move so he could sit next to me. I thought that was a little rude, but I mean, I could understand. He didn't really know anybody else there, like besides my sister and shit. So he sits next to me and he like taps my leg, and so I'm like, okay, so I'm holding hands with him and I'm like, so, like, what's wrong? What's going on? And he doesn't say a word to me. He's sitting like this, like with this hand over here leaning on this side, and I'm over here and I'm just like trying to talk to him. Do you want some popcorn? Do you want this? Do you want that? Like, at the end of the day, like, the movie finished, he still didn't talk to me, still didn't say a word to me, still like nothing from this guy. Crosswalk, and on the corner he kind of like pulls me away from the group. Mind you, this entire, like, the pretty much the entire time he never said like a word to me. So I'm like, oh, like, what's he gonna tell? Was he gonna tell me that he hates me and he never wants to see me again? Like, what? So he pulls me aside and he tells me, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And I was like, "What? What? What?" Just like, what kind of timing is that? What? Just, just do you want to be my girlfriend? And I was just like, I don't know. I have to think about it. So I get home and I seriously considered, going out with him, but I didn't. And here's why. I was thinking about everything that we had been through together until that point, which is basically nothing. Um, and I was thinking about how he reacted to certain situations and how he had done all those things and how he would snap so easily. And I was like, I'm not prepared to deal with that. And then I was like, okay, put those bad times aside. First of all, you're 15. You're you're a little shit, all right? You're a fucking potato. Like, I don't know what the hell he sees in you, but you literally got nothing on you that would make you attractive. Second of all, you're 15. You're like a freshman in high. Like, what do you mean? Like, dating a 20-year-old? That's fucking serious, like, relationship shit, you know? Third of all, I know nothing about relationships. So, why would I get into a relationship if I know that I wasn't going to be serious about it with him? He's 20 years old. He is probably looking for someone to take things seriously. The next morning, he texted me and he said, "So, what did you think?" And I told him, um, I don't think, like, if we were to date, it would work out. I feel like it wouldn't even last. So, like, I'm sorry, but no, I can't go out with you. And he was like, oh. But he came to my house and we had like this little like outside thing that was kind of like a little like balcony thing. I don't fucking know. It was weird. But he's standing out there and I guess he was talking. He was with the backdoor neighbor and with my sister, and they were all talking. All three of them were talking or whatever. And she comes inside and she tells me, "Hey, your boyfriend is hitting on me." And I tell her, "He's not my boyfriend. I literally rejected him like last night." So, um, this bitch tried to, I don't know, make me jealous, or maybe he just like, I don't fucking know what he was trying to do, but he was hitting on my sister, and I was like, at this point, like, I still had some level of respect for this guy, like, he was just dealing with shit, like, he's a little weird, and he snaps really easily, but, like, overall, he's a good guy. And then she's flirts with my sister, and I'm over here like, bitch, what are you trying to do? Who do you think I am? Do you think that I'm gonna start begging you to like talk to me or something? Because that's not who I am. And I don't play those games, bitch. You don't know me. So, yeah, I stopped talking to him completely after that. And like my parents really liked him. They were like, "Oh, you should have dated him. You should have dated him. You should have dated." Bitch, you don't even know. So yeah, that's the story of how I almost dated a 20-year-old guy. Okay, guys. So that was the story time of how I almost dated a 20-year-old guy when I was 15. And yeah, I hope you liked it. See you in the next video. Bye.